Hey Dave, we've got your X-Quad 450 here with retracts. I'm going to tell you a little bit about your package and we're going to go ahead and start off with your transmitter. Okay, so on your transmitter you have a flight control switch, so flight mode switch. That's right here. The green switch in the top position is GPS mode, and so from there that's where it starts out, that's where it defaults to. So I would recommend flying in that position, switch position, to get comfortable with your bird. Once you're comfortable, sport mode, middle position, that's attitude mode. Middle position, that's going to give you more agility, more speed, and you're going to have a little bit more, like I say, it's going to feel a little sportier in the air. Bottom position is manual mode. So that's going to require constant stick input there from you to make sure that you have, just kind of like the helicopters in the past, you're familiar with those, so it's going to be really, really similar to that. Anyway, like I say, top position, those GPS, I'd recommend leaving it there and just until you're comfortable. But anyway, that's how we'd have it default started out. Over here, the yellow dot, that is LG for landing gear. So in the very bottom position, it rotates, so it's going to start out down, rotate counterclockwise there. And so as you rotate, what's going to happen is your strobe light will come on, and then the landing gear will go up. And then as you rotate down, strobe light will go off, and then landing gear will go off. So you don't have to rotate it all the way to where you could actually stop the strobe and then still have the landing gear do what you want. So it's kind of cool. So that's all from that knob right there. And then the yellow switch right back here is your fail-safe. So whatever mode you're flying in, whether it's GPS, attitude, or manual mode, you're going to go over here, and if you flick this switch forward like this, it's going to go into a fail-safe. It's going to fly itself back to where it started, lower itself down, and shut off the motor. So that's going to be your fail-safe. Then right up here, I've got your IOC. Okay, so the way this is set up is right now it's all the way to, okay, it's all the way to the right. So as you turn it to the left like this, it's going to go into course lock and then home lock. So all the way down here in the negative position, you're in home lock, okay, and then at the 50% mark, you're at the little dot there, you're in course lock, okay, and then in the very top position, it's off. So that's how that switch is going to work there. So we're going over here. This is your gains. So I have this programmed right now at the exact middle position. So that's where I'd recommend leaving it right now. That's perfect for regular flight. Now as you add weight or reduce weight, for example, then you would, depending on how it flies, you can adjust that to kind of correct jumpiness or oscillation in the flight. So that's why that's programmed there. So, but like I say, it's at the 50% mark, and that's where I'd recommend, keeping it at just for now, because that's where I've got it set. It flies for it. And like I say, as a special upgrade, went ahead and backlit your transmitter. So now, if you're flying in low light or even at night, this comes in handy. It's super awesome to have your screen backlit, especially if you got a timer going. All right, so we've got your carbon fiber props right here, and we've got your DJI plastic ones here. Our composite plastic ones there. So right now I want to talk about putting the blades on. So when you receive it, it's going to be like this. Okay, and so this nut up here is loose. Okay, and you'll just slide this coupler over the shaft right here. Okay, it goes down, and then you're just going to tighten that down. But this is key. Make sure that's tight. You don't want to over tighten it to, you don't want to damage anything. But you definitely want to make sure that's tight, because if it's not tight enough, well, then your blade could fly off, and then your quad would unfortunately do somersaults all the way to the ground, which is not good at all. So a couple of things to point out here. Your front left motor, this is rotating in a clockwise rotation, and its diagonal counterpart back there is also clockwise. So your front right arm is going to go in a counterclockwise motion here, and just like the diagonal one to it is also counter. So you notice this goes in a clockwise motion, so you'll take this and you'll set it up on the one that goes in a clockwise rotation, tighten this down nice and tight so that it's not going to come off, and then that's how you set your blades up. So that's just a little bit about the way you're going to set this up. So when you receive this, your quad, your retracts are going to be up and your blades are going to be off. And this is just going to be the best way for shipping to keep it the safest for you. So when you get it, all you're going to do is you're going to turn on your transmitter, plug in your battery, which you got your battery right here. You're going to plug that in, it'll come on, and then you're just going to rotate your landing gear knob, and that's going to lower the landing gear for you. And then at that point, if you'd like, go ahead and just unplug your quad, and then you can turn your transmitter off. Then all you have to do is install your blades on there, and you're ready to rock. One thing that is super important is to make sure that on the GPS compass here, the front of this, where this cord's at, coincides with this arrow that's on top here, and that all has to point directly forward with the front of the machine. So you got your red arms up front with your red LEDs, white arms in the back, white LEDs, so this compass is pointing forward. So you just want to make sure that stays like that. This is solid, but like I say, you know, I mean, you're not going to turn that really for any reason, but if for any reason it got out of whack, you want to just make sure that's pointed forward. While you're flying, if you see the red light start to rapidly flash, that's when you know you need to land, because that's your voltage protection coming on. So once that comes on, you got about 60 seconds to land. You want to get on the ground there, and then that's how you know you're going to protect your battery voltage. So you don't want to go below 3.2 volts per cell on your battery as far as when you're flying. So, and then you don't want to charge it more than 4.2 volts per cell. So on a 4-cell battery, for example, it's going to be 16.8 volts. It's going to be a fully charged battery. And then you just don't want to drop below, say, 13 volts or so. That would be the lowest you'd want to go on a battery without damaging it. Hey Dave, well that's your 450, and that's the setup for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. But I know you're going to love it, and I hope you enjoy flying it. Thanks a lot.